I wouldn't want a dot grid.
No, I don't think you do.
All right, can you guys still hear me? Am I lagging
Yep.
at all?
No, you're great.
Okay. All right, you guys
That's
ready?
interesting.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. Now, I've been holding on to this story for a while, and I cannot wait to tell you about this happening. And I'm not going to share my screen to show you the pictures and all that because I don't want anything to screw up the computer. But I'm driving home from work one day. This is I'm entering my neighborhood at about 5:30 in the afternoon, and I pull into my gate and I see this billowing smoke in the direction of my house, and I'm like, uh-oh. I hope my house is not on fire. And I'm driving around, and as I'm getting closer, the depth perception, all that, it looked like there was smoke coming from my house.
Oh no.
So as I get really close, I see it's not coming from my house. Thank God. It's okay.
You're like, great, somebody else has an emergency, not me. Wonderful.
Not me.
Perfect.
Right. So I'm going to pull in my driveway because it's been a long day at work. I just want to get home and smoke a couple cigs, drink my DC.
Somebody else's
Diet
house
Coke.
is smoking, not a big deal.
Just
Right.
watch someone's house smolder.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it could be a barbecue. Who knows? But against my lazy judgment, I was like, you know what? I'm going to continue going. I'm going to follow the smoke screen, follow the smoke trail, and see what's going on. Maybe it's a barbecue, and I can get a burger. Maybe it's something more important than that.
Okay, I'm going to pause you right there, Scott. Scott, I'm going to pause you right there. In previous episodes, we've had challenges with you showing up to the park with no children with an ice cream truck. Running through people's yards with your pants falling down. And now you're talking about just showing up. Because you're like, hey, I saw some smoke. Were you sending a signal to me? Is that food? Can I get a plate?
That's his bat signal.
Well,
Is that your back signal? What happened?
I did ride my big wheel over to a friend's house today because he shared a video with me that he got his kids these really cool drift big wheels. So I pedaled on down there and drifted with the kids, and then I thought it'd be smart to play some basketball. They had a 7-foot rim and all that. And I blocked. These kids are like 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, something like that. So I blocked one of the kids, so I don't have to take it back. I went right back for a drop step dunk, and I dunked it. I was so excited. I'm like, oh my God, I just dunked on a 7-foot rim. This is crazy. So then I tried to dunk again. No, I was good for one. I kept stuffing the ball against the rim as I'm trying to dunk a basketball on a 7-foot rim.
Did the Magic offer you a 10-day contract? By any
I'm
chance?
sure they would offer you more. I don't know. I feel like you would be fine. Also, I do want to address your big wheel. I want one. There's not many things that I am jealous. I feel genuine jealousy about. This is something I feel a lot of jealousy about, and there's a few reasons. One, I don't own one, and I would love to. Two, there's no way I'd be able to pedal that around the block because my lung capacity there's nothing left. Two, that sick-ass flag, man. It's the flag for me. That thing is badass. So cool. You need a bell so you can be like, bing, bing, as you turn a corner.
We're working on the accessories.
So whose house burned down? Who was displaced by this tragedy?
So I drive past my house, and I go to the end of my street, and the end of my street pretty much runs into someone's house, but then there's another street that intersects with that, and then the end of that street is just to the back fence of our neighborhood into a woodsy area. So I come up to the stop sign where these two streets intersect, and I look, and I can see the smoke. It's right there. And I look to my right, and the entire fence is engulfed in flames. Engulfed.
Did anybody notice? Were you the first on the scene?
I was the first I was the first.
You're the
on
first
scene.
responder. Oh my goodness.
Let me rephrase. I was the second on scene. There was a teenager or maybe in her 20s walking her dog, and I looked at her and I said, "Hey, have you called 911 yet?" And she looks at me and she's like, "Should I?" And I'm like, "No, I got it."
You're at this point, it's fine.
Yeah,
Like, I'd like to be. No, you want to know why? You were like, no, don't, because you wanted to be the one that if there was like a 2020 special about this, that when they play the 911 call, it was you. You were the neighbor that called it in, and you'll hear Scott in the face voice. Yes, hello. I'm in the blankety blank community off of blankety blank, and we have a fence on fire. I've already assessed the scene. That's exactly what you're going for. Continue on the story.
Mary, you know me too well.
Way too well.
Of course I wanted to be the voice of my neighborhood on the release 911 tape. And that was a really good impression of me, because I'll get to the conversation with the 911 operator and how awkward that was. So
what's the emergency? Offenses on fire. Is anyone injured? No, not even remotely. Can you snuff it out with a coat? Most likely.
No, I couldn't. It was too big.
Just wanted to call you. That's what she said. Go ahead.
So I jump out of my car and I'm like, okay, the only thing that I have in my car is my Diet Coke. I could pour my Diet Coke.
That would make it worse. The chemicals.
Right. That, and it would have been a waste of a Diet Coke to put out one, like a tenth of this fire, because it was. You know our white fences in our neighborhood. You know those white PVC or plastic fences. This fire took out 5 sections of fencing, not 5 slats, 5 sections. It had the tree above it on fire, and there was a half circle 50-foot. I would say a 50-foot radius around the backside of this fence.
I have some questions.
Okay.
If it's okay, so like, and this is just me being ignorant too, those white panel fences, in my mind, they should be like, why can that catch on fire? I feel like the material it shouldn't be able to, right?
I'm glad you asked that. So the fire was so hot that it melted the plastic. It wasn't burning the plastic, it was melting the plastic.
I see.
It was
so
burning.
The fire originated outside of the fence. Where did it start, Scott? How did it happen?
Great question.
Is it arson?
Great question.
Do you have an arsonist?
I'm
Let's
confused.
Scooby-Doo and the gang.
Was it a barbecue?
Back together.
It wasn't a barbecue.
Did you get a burger out of it?
I did. No, but I got a lot of attention on Facebook. So I jump out of my car. I realize it's stupid to waste my Diet Coke because it's not going to do anything to this fire. So I look at the house now the flames are about 20 feet away from the closest house. Okay. And I look at their house. I don't think they're home. Plus I don't know them. But I do know their neighbors.
So not a big deal. It's fine.
Yeah. Collateral damage.
They don't come to the meetings.
They don't come to the meetings. They don't comment on my posts on Facebook.
That's it.
So I knock on their neighbor's house, who we're friends with. Abby plays with their daughters. You know, their daughters have spent the night. We did our neighborhood fantasy football. So like I know these people. So I'm banging on the door, and he comes to the door. Hey, what's up, Scott? And I'm on the phone, right? And I can't so with 911. And I'm like, come here. And he sees, and he comes running out with Barbie's, Fisher Price My First fire extinguisher set. And then finally now other people are starting to see this. So someone else tries to turn the hose on the house that's right next to the fire, but there's a crimp in it. So finally 5 neighbors come out with fire extinguishers, and they blew through their fire extinguishers. This was a big fire. It was not a small fire. Well, meanwhile, I'm on the phone with 911. Hi. We have a fire in the neighborhood. It's in a wooded area. It's a pretty big radius. The fence panels are all gone. And I'm out of breath because I ran from my car to the neighbors
20 feet away.
Pretty much in his driveway.
Yeah.
It's pretty much in his driveway.
Yeah. But you were also hyped up, probably. You're so excited.
Oh, I was so excited.
You're
you went and
now's
changed
my
into his
time
No New
to
Friends
shine.
t-shirt real quick.
He did.
I should. Oh, that's what I should have done. So I text Rachel with my work phone. I'm on the phone with 911 on my personal phone. I text Rachel with my work phone. I'm like, hey, come to the end of the street now. I should have said, bring a No New Friends podcast shirt. I don't know why I didn't ask her to come to the end of the street with I didn't ask her to bring a fire extinguisher. I'm just come to the end of the street.
Let it burn.
I
Content,
want you
baby.
to be here. What were you like? Come here so you can be in the way of danger with some smoke inhalation? What is wrong with you? Like, stay back and be safe.
Just see me in action because I was the first responder.
And you were like, I won't need the sex robot tonight. Like, what the hell?
First of all, Scott, thank you for your service for being a first responder.
I know, God.
You're welcome.
I hope you get 10% off at Applebee's.
Yeah, he's gonna start going places and be like, "Hi, I see you're offering discounts to first responders. Let me tell you a story."
I tell you, and they'll be like, "Sir, go. No need to go any further. Give him 25% off, just so he shuts up."
So, the dispatch, they're asking me all sorts of questions. Like, is it close to a house? And I'm like, it's about 20 feet away from a house. Okay, is anybody hurt?
I also want to stop you right there. This is going to take you forever to tell the story. How do you eyeball 20 feet? I wouldn't know. What?
He probably did the measurements.
Yeah.
He
There's 18 paces to the left.
I have to mute because I got a cough now. Keep talking.
I think, the 20 feet was just to make it sound a little bit more dramatic. Well, anyway, while I'm on the phone with the operator, the people who were actually doing something with their fire extinguishers and their hoses put out the fire. Like, the fire was out.
Oh, man, it was done.
It was done. Now, it was still, when the fire department showed up, it was still smoldering. And so they did, they came out. They didn't have to put on the jackets, so their muscles were bulging through their T-shirts as they put out the fire with the hose.
Did you take any video?
I was like, "Can I get a picture with the hose, sir?"
Yeah, let me hold it. So
God.
The chief shows up because it must have been a slow day, because like the chief shows up, the guy that's wearing like the button-up shirt as opposed to the other guy, and he's older as opposed to the model-looking guys who are in T-shirts. And I come up to him. I was like, "Hey, I was the one who called 911. I was the first one here. This is what I saw." And he's like, "Hey, great kid." He's
like, "We actually have a position in the Explorers if you want to join."
So then, I had to milk it. I called the HOA president and vice president. I was like, "Hey, you may want to get down to the end of the street. There was a fire."
And somebody's probably going to get a ticket or like you are out of code right now because your fence is melted. That's actually an infraction.
So here's the thing. The reason why I called is because that particular piece of fence, it doesn't belong to anybody. It's like common area because it's at the end of a street. It's not on anybody's property. It's property of the.
Oh my God, Scott, that is the perfect crime. Whoever set that fire, it's ideal. You want to know why? Because nobody's going to search them down. There's no homeowner that's like, "I want to get this taken care of." Nobody's Ring camera is probably pointed at that random section area fence.
And that's where you're wrong, because the homeowner that lives right next to the fire, former FBI agent.
Oh,
and
wow. And way to route that guy out. Now, hopefully he wasn't like, in protective.
I'm not giving his address. Like,
I will.
It's fine.
For enough. A pair of earrings, and I will tell them exactly which street it is. I know where it is.
We have to
get
get Scott like a badge, like junior volunteer firefighter.
I think so. I don't know if he's even a junior anymore. He's not in the dollar menu. Maybe he's ready to go big time.
Listen, I saved 2 houses and a huge wooded area because both houses that were close to it, they were out of town. They weren't there. And this fire was about 5 minutes away from getting completely out of control because it's all.
Can we get the interns on this to check 20 feet equals 5 minutes? Can somebody check? I just need to know.
Yeah, we're going to check the burn to foot ratio.
The burn rate, yeah.
Listen, they were not sweeping the forest floors, and this could have been a very quick brush fire.
He's right. 20 cubic feet every 5 minutes.
That's exact. Look at that.
There we
so
go.
You're ready to pass your exam, sir. I think you are ready. The only part
I just
you're
don't
missing.
know that I'd be able to pass the physical part.
I don't know. You're dunking on a 7-inch rim or 7-inch,
7 foot. What is this? A rim for ants?
It needs to be at least. Look, we're really proud of you, Scott. I think that's really nice that you stepped up to help your neighbors. I wish it would have been for a reason outside of attention. I really wish you really wanted to do it for the common good of people, but it's okay.
I did. I wanted to save the houses.
You did. You saved the houses. I'm going to make you a shirt. Save the houses.
Man, just actually have Chris make it so we can have the No New Friends podcast, logo on the shirt, and then it could say saving houses since 2022 or something like that on there.
Wait, did this happen this year? Okay, so
No,
this
it was actually
fresh.
2021. It was right. It was before.
Yeah, because you've been sitting on this story because I've been sick for a year. Oh my gosh! So if we say since 2021, they're a full year into saving houses. Like they probably are the experts.
Yeah,
in this.
it's
They
true.
know that 20 feet
least
equals
I am.
5 minutes. 20 feet equals 5 minutes. Everybody remember that. Keep that math down, okay? Scott, I'm real proud of you.
Thank
You're
you.
You're a hero amongst just normal men here.
Do either of you have hero stories at all? I didn't think so.
All
right.
Oh, I was gonna.
You're listening to the No New Friends
Whatever.
podcast. We'll be right back.
Asshole. I actually do. Out of Smoky Bones, sir.
That was really good. That was really
Well,
good.
then tell me about your hero story. I'm still
I
recording.
had to give a really, really large dude the Heimlich. I was
Oh.
cooking on the line during a lunch rush, and somebody started screaming that somebody was choking, and I was like, oh man, I hope there's an adult to help, and I was like, shit, I'm the GM, I gotta go do it. And so I ran out real fast, and this very, very large person, I could not give this person the Heimlich if I tried. My arms would not go around. And so I just beat the shit out of his back, and he ended up vomiting all over, but he didn't choke and die. So
Oh.
worked out
No.
fine.
All right,
wow.
No New Friends
Yeah.
podcast, saving lives since
Saving lives.
2016.
That was like
This is
what was that,
photoshopped,
20?
Scott.
It's not Photoshop.
It's a pretty big fire. That's a
I know
that's
it's a pretty big fire. It was a pretty big fire. And I mean, it was.
Did you call CNN? You should have. You probably should have called
I
the
didn't.
closest correspondent.
I should have. All right,
Wasted
so
What's
listen to
behind
No New
it? Is
Friends.
it water? Or
No,
is that it's
that's
just
black.
burned out?
No, that's what's burnt. I'm telling you, this was a
You
this
did
was a big
did a
fire.
very good job. I'm proud of you.
I did a very good job.
I'm
And
proud of
all
you.
I was thinking is, oh, great, more content. This is fantastic.
I hope nobody dies.
But yeah, we saved houses too.
Saving houses since 2021.
All right, now you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back.